I'm Amanda Jordan, Business Development Manager for National Accounts for Cunard.
And I'm Alicia Oliphant, and Business Development Manager for Cunard as well. We are here to be your hosts for our new webinar series, Why Cunard? Now, first, we want to acknowledge and thank you for your steadfast dedication, your commitment and passion for Cunard, particularly in the last unprecedented year. With that in mind, we were inspired to create this series designed especially for you to learn new and compelling ways of sharing Cunard's story with your clients. We've designed the series to be informative, educational, entertaining, and maybe even a bit surprising along the way, and will occasionally feature some special guests. While today's event has been previously recorded, we aim to make them more interactive as we go forward.
Yes, absolutely. And topics will include the benefits of working with Cunard, things you didn't know about Cunard, Cunard's distinctive Alaska experience, destination dreaming, and of course, we'll share the expansive details of our much anticipated return to service as we have them. We're very pleased to kick off the series with today's topic, the power of heritage, featuring our Vice President of Sales for Cunard North America, Jamie Paiko.
Thanks so much for having me here today, and I am excited to feel deeply connected to the Cunard heritage. I've just celebrated my 15-year anniversary with the company, and I look forward to sharing some of my stories along the way.
Oh, happy 15 years and congratulations on that. We're so happy to have you here. So I want to just jump right in with our first question. Jamie, what would you say are the key characteristics that represent Cunard?
For me, the first key characteristic is that we are such a trusted and venerable brand, and we've been sailing for over 180 years, bringing innovation, impeccable service, style, and elegance, as well as our resilience in times of challenge. I also love that the company is founded on core values that emanate everything we do, and we are refined, thoughtful, charismatic, and proud. And so these core values really resonate with me and are part of what builds this brand up. I wanted to share a moment of illustrating the pride of the company along with our heritage. And that is our chairman, Mickey Arison, emigrated to the United States on a Cunard ocean liner. And then, of course, he built a series of brands. And within that, brought Cunard into the fold, deciding to buy it and build the largest and most beautiful ocean liner in the world, which is Queen Mary 2. I'm also proud to mention that Cunard has been sailing the world voyage for over 100 years. And in 2023, we will commemorate this by offering 2 centennial voyages on board Queen Victoria and Queen Mary 2.
Jamie, I also love all our traditions, and I too take so much pride in being able to work with Cunard. So we have another question for you. Can you give us some examples of how Cunard's heritage comes to life through today's onboard experience?
I would say the first thing is that when you're walking up to the ship, just looking at the exterior of the ship, I think creates excitement in not only myself, but in guests that come on board. And you walk into the grand lobby and you get this sense of awe. The spaces on board are often 2-3 stories high, and the grand lobby has that sense of feeling of this grand space and luxury. You're sharing in the footsteps of luminaries before you. I know when I come on board, I always feel like I'm about to start a brand new Cunard story, but that it's going to reflect in the history and heritage of what the brand has been. I also appreciate that we have many signature venues that call back to the past, but are completely modern. So for instance, the Commodore Club is a beautiful lounge and bar that is situated just under the bridge. So you get that same bird's eye view of what the captain may be seeing just above you, but you get it with the luxury of enjoying cocktails and nibbles and just relaxing. And for me, I love the cocktail menu. It is so diverse. It nods to the past as well as has a lot of really innovative spirits as well. So for me, I love the Transatlantic Love Affair cocktail, which is a recipe I'll include on my Facebook page after this webinar.
Oh, wonderful.
I think you have a favorite cocktail.
Yes, I really love the signature cocktail, Over the Top, a very aromatic gin drink created in honor of one of our illustrious Commodores of the past, Sir James Charles, two first names. And I love his story, which is illustrated in the menu. And he held the rank of Commodore from 1921 to 1928. And from the history I've read, I wasn't there, he was noted for his extravagant dinners while he was in command of the Aquitania and the Mauritania. So cheers to our past. And oh, you can't see there you go. See, I've got the basil and all the wonderful drinks inspired by our Commodores.
Oh, fascinating. Thanks for sharing that, Alicia. Well, I think it's a good segue. After you have your cocktail, maybe we can talk about the Queen's Room. Queen's Room is also steeped in history. And as Alicia's having her cocktail, one of the things I enjoy most in there is our afternoon tea. So we have daily afternoon tea in the Queen's Room with live music. And this has been a tradition with Cunard for many years. White glove service, live music, scones, tea sandwiches, it's everything you've dreamed of. But the Queen's Room is also our ballroom. They are the largest ballrooms at sea with the largest dance floors at sea and are on all of our queens. The Queen's Room has played host to many events, including Transatlantic Fashion Week and The Greatest Showman. It also is host on every voyage for our gala event balls. So this is a great experience to nod to the past while you're in the current times. We have gala balls that include the Masquerade Ball as well as Roaring 20s. So it's an opportunity to dress up and really share experience with your fellow passengers. So I want to talk about the grills because the grills are also steeped in our heritage and history. And they include beautiful suites that are paired with dining. Some of them have private elevators. Some have verandas that can host large soirees. They're extremely beautiful. And I think, Amanda, you know the history of the grills that you can share with us.
Yeah, I do. I love telling this history because when I joined Cunard, I was a bit puzzled by the name The Grills, as I think a lot of our partners are. So I think the website does a really fantastic job of explaining the full history, but I'll try to summarize it as best I can. So Cunard had been operating for over 70 years when the concept of the grills was first introduced. And the first grill room was on board the Aquitania and offered a quiet, intimate escape from the larger first-class dining room. Although the Aquitania had the first grill room, it wasn't until Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth's veranda grills that the experience really came into its own. The veranda grills' key elements were highly attentive service, a diverse menu, and a club-like ambiance. They were more private, which made them a popular place for celebrities. And for a charge of just 10 shillings, first-class passengers could drink, dine, and dance to the Veranda Grill Orchestra into the wee hours. So guests were encouraged also to request special orders, which they can still do today in the Queen's Grill restaurant. And the use of the term grill actually originated in the 20th century and was used by restaurants that specialized in grilled meats. Cunard followed, and although the grills themselves have evolved over the years, the name has remained for over a century.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Amanda.
So Jamie, for you, what is the experience that celebrates both Cunard's heritage and delivers what guests are looking for today?
Yeah, I think it's without a doubt the transatlantic crossing. We offer a variety of voyages, but Cunard was built on the transatlantic crossing, and it is a voyage that we offer 20 or more voyages of each year. It's steeped in so much history. So an example of this would be Winston Churchill, who regularly sailed between the UK and New York City. And he would host impromptu debates and discussions with fellow guests on board. And of course, most recently, Queen Mary II played a major role as the setting for the new feature film, Let Them All Talk, starring Meryl Streep and directed by Steven Soderbergh. This movie is really a great way to share with your clients what the onboard venues and staterooms really look like, what the dining experience and entertainment have to offer. And it's really a ship tour. So it's an easy way to really capture the back of house as well as experiences that are on board. I strongly suggest you share it with your clients.
So I think I have just one more question for you. How does Cunard design its brand strategy to leverage its heritage with today's cruise guests?
Yeah, I recently read a powerful article that captured this essence very well. It talked about how successful brands remind consumers of what they have, where they are, and where they've come from. It's a great reminder of just how much the story of a brand links to the narrative that potential guests run in their own mind, in the lives they lead, in the lives they would lead if they could. Heritage brands like Cunard take a cue from what has been, but places the emphasis on today. And I think that's a really important part of tying heritage from the past to the present, tying those nostalgic references with bold contemporary themes. And I think that's something that Cunard really brings to life when you look at our themed voyages or you look at the experiences on board. It's a heightened experience of some of the past along with the innovations of today.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. And thank you for joining us today. And many thanks to all of you who attended the first of our new webinar series. We hope you can take away some valuable pieces of information about the power of brand heritage. Today, we were only able to scratch the surface of this conversation, and we encourage you to speak to more with your local BDM and really about how you can more powerfully speak to your clients with this thinking in mind.
Yes, and please join us again soon when we debut the next webinar in our series. In the meantime, please reach out with any questions or comments, which we always welcome. Thank you.